Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are broadcasting live from Resorts World Bimini. Topping news tonight, tensions running high on the island of Bimini as residents express outrage over a newly constructed fence blocking access to some of their beaches. One member of parliament for the area, Kingsley Smith, along with the administrator for the island, Eva K. Arthur, and the chief councillor, Glenrick Roll, all joining forces to correct this problem. Aja Quant was there and has the details in tonight's top story.
Over the last few weeks, residents on Bimini have been voicing their frustration and dismay over a newly erected fence that has restricted their access to a beach on the island. Chief Councillor for Bimini now speaks on behalf of the residents.
For the last few years, this has been the access to Paradise Beach, and a few weeks ago they decided to put a fence up, and the concerns were we still going to have access to the beach and Eastwell also. Eastwell is Crown land and belongs to us, and we need access to that at all times. So that is our major concern.
Now, this is the fence that was erected to prevent residents here on the island of Bimini from accessing this beach point. However, Member of Parliament for West Grand, Bahama and Bimini, Kingsley Smith, and Administrator Eva K. Arthur has joined forces to rectify this issue.
After the numerous complaints about the access being blocked off, the Member of Parliament, myself, Council and Resorts World, we sat down in meetings and tried to resolve the issue.
Every investor, every homeowner who has property on the beach knows the position of the Bahamas government and the Bahamian people do not restrict the beach access. And this was relayed to Resort World. We are now assured that they would have access from the other point.
We have agreed to allow access through the main thoroughfare which passes through the beach club area. However, there is a concern with regards to when Virgin Voyages is in port and they occupy the beach club. We ask that the local residents and guests and so forth that may be visiting the island respect and adhere to our understandings and our agreements with regards to the occupation of the beach club property itself.
Now, this is the new point where residents here on the island can have beach access 7 days a week. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Aja Quant.
Thanks, Aja. Well, in other news, while on the island for his introductory visit, the Honorable Leon Lundy made a special visit to West Grand Bahama to oversee how the West Grand Bahama Home Repair Project is doing under the Disaster Reconstruction Authority. Shane Stubbs has the details in this report.
I'm pleased with the work that's being done. The contractors, they've done an awesome job, but more importantly, the persons are pleased with the work.
The Honorable Leon Lundy voicing his approval of the West Grand Bahama Home Repair Project under the Disaster Reconstruction Authority during his recent introductory tour of Grand Bahama. In his brief interaction with some of the homeowners, the minister now in charge of NEMA and the DRA is moved by their personal testimonies, some chiming that they are far removed from some past struggles.
We want to please everyone to make sure that they get back to a sense of normalcy, and where in one case they said they don't have to put down 6 buckets anymore, they're good. The roof is fixed. One home, what we did some repairs to, was totally destroyed. I mean, it wasn't livable at anything. Just to see that lady able to come out of a home that was totally destroyed and tell us how good it feels for her to turn her key again, it's just great.
While it's the ministry's mandate to provide recovery, the Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister says their focus is also fixed on readiness in the event of any natural disaster.
Making sure that we know exactly what we need to do in regards with getting ahead of the storm, preparing for it, making sure that we don't have much to do in terms of recovery, but rather mitigating that full impact that we got from some of the storms.
For resident of West End, Natasha says Ferguson, it's been an uphill battle since Hurricane Dorian, but she looks forward to the full completion of her home.
I've been fighting this battle from 2021. The process has been going quite well. And hopefully I'm looking forward for completion, that I can move in my house pretty soon.
As project manager, Shaloma Carol Miller is pleased with what they've been able to accomplish in such a short period of time, noting it's been a long time coming for some residents.
The project has been ongoing since November of last year. So far, we have completed approximately 40 homes. Everybody so far that I've been talking to has been really thankful, very appreciative, and just really happy to now finally see the repairs being completed.
Now the Honorable Minister will shift his focus to Abaco, where he is expected to visit next week. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shane Stubbs.
Well, in other news, junior counselors across Grand Bahama are now equipped with the tools needed to excel as future leaders, as a training session was held Thursday morning to guide them on various aspects of budgeting their expenses. The students are now preparing to execute various projects. Raven Davis was there and has the details in this report.
It was the final training session held here at Mary Star of the Sea Catholic Academy as junior counselors from the 7 participating schools in Grand Bahama gathered to delve into the intricacies of junior local government. This comprehensive overview covering accounting systems and procedures.
At the end of the day, once you would have spent the public funds, your books and records would be checked to make sure, of course, that it was done in decency and in order.
A.D. Williams, local government consultant for the Northern Bahamas, highlights that the program mirrors all facets of local government at the senior level.
We are preparing them for the next generation of leadership at the local level, which is the spawning ground for national leadership and perhaps even international leadership.
Now, in previous sessions, students navigated the electoral process, understanding voter registration, conducting meetings, and recognizing the equal voice of every council member. Now, at the decision-making phase of budget allocation, officials emphasized their commitment to imparting knowledge and expertise to nurture these young leaders.
And so it's important for me to share today the proper policies and procedures that are required whenever a decision is made to a project.
Post office, what they have done, junior local government have opened their account with us, and we're grateful for that. And they're going to have that funds there where they can build a lot of interest. It's a very good start for this junior council.
The students and advisors expressing they were able to glean new and valuable information.
Today's session will prove to be very helpful as we are now being given a sum of money to help with the projects and initiatives that the schools want to actually complete.
So far, this seminar is going really well. I'm learning how to do the payment voucher, how to create an account, and how to transfer money.
We also learn a lot of new terminology, such as BF, which means balance brought forward. Yeah, so that was very helpful. And they also showed us how we can use the chart correctly.
If we decide to join the local government when we, after graduation, we will know what to do.
Now, the integration of local government into the government school curriculum, ensuring students receive a balanced blend of both practical and academic exposure. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
Heading now into news from the crime beat. Donovan Hart, age 29 of New Providence, was arraigned in court number 3 on Wednesday, February 14th of 2024 for indecent assault before Magistrate LaQuay Lang. He pleaded not guilty and was granted bail in the sum of $6,000. The matter was adjourned until June 9th of 2024. Now, this incident pertains to a complaint that was formally reported on Grand Bahama on Sunday, February 11th, 2024. In the complaint, Hart is charged with indecently assaulting a female relative who is a minor. Well, the McIntosh family will be spreading love during this Valentine's season with a food giveaway this Saturday, February 17th from 12 p.m. until supplies last in Mactown. Organizers and descendants from Mactown, Cassietta McIntosh and Diamia Newton says it's going to be a celebration of love and everyone is welcomed to stop by.
The meaning of it takes a village to raise a child is personified within the McIntosh family. And as such, we are taking pleasure in honoring some of the matriarchs of our family, namely Marilyn McIntosh, Miss Cora Bridgewater, and Miss Jenny Pinder, and our dearly departed Isabella Newton.
I invite the entire public to come down to Mactown and see the love that we spread in our community. Mactown is a very safe place, and we have a lot of bags that is filled with love that we need to give out.
Being honored during the time will be Jenny Pinder, Cora May Bridgewater, Marilyn McIntosh, and the late Isabella Newton, who are also descendants of MacTown.
It makes me feel wonderful, especially for my nieces, because I am their aunt, and they treat me so nice. I'm so proud of them. May God continue to bless each and every one of them. I'm so happy to be honored, because giving and sharing love was all I know my whole life. And I'm so happy that my niece, nephew, children, and all decided to give.
Growing up and see the young children around the neighborhood, everybody stays at my house to watch movie. We go with one another, and we just get along like one big family. And I would like to say today, thank you all very much for accepting me into the McIntosh family.
Well, in a momentous celebration, the Marco City constituency unveiled its latest gem, a brand new community park that promises to deepen the sense of community throughout the neighborhood. The unveiling ceremony, attended by residents and dignitaries alike, marked the official inauguration of the new space. Raven Davis was there and has the details in this report.
Conceived as a vision and collectively birthed by earlier members of parliament for the constituency, Marco City's aspirations for a vibrant community taking a step forward as the area's President MP Michael Pintard inaugurated a newly established recreation and community park in the Mayfield Park subdivision. During a ceremony attended by the City of Freeport Council, the Ministry of Agriculture, the Marco City team, along with former MPs and other residents, Pintard emphasized the park's multifaceted offerings, as the site has been equipped with a basketball court, meticulously carved trees, playground, and soon a welcoming community garden.
It's a sign of what we ought to be doing as a community. There are many things our community need, and the way to get to the finish line is to talk with as many persons who have a shared vision and commitment to make those kinds of things happen.
Reflecting on the challenges in bringing this visionary project to fruition, former MPs David Thompson and Shavar Golang congratulated Pintard for achieving this milestone.
It was my goal to try and establish this park here, which is sorely needed in Mayfield Park because of the many families and the many boys and girls who could make use of the facility.
Mr. Pintard, congratulations. It's much needed. God bless you and continue to do the excellent work that you are doing.
One longtime resident assuring the park will serve a noble and godly purpose.
This park is a holy park.
That's right.
And this is going to bring souls to Christ.
That's right.
We're not just going to have basketball and stuff. We're going to have little church service in here.
For the team, the event underscores a commitment to enhancing communal spaces for residents of Marco City.
We are about to embark on 2 other parks. One, we have already poured the basketball court. It is just off Frobisher, Adventures Way, Pioneers Way, and Dampier. We also have been in discussions with the Outen family in Gambia Loop. It is our intention to complete a park that has been promised to residents there.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, live from Resorts World Bimini. Stay with us. There's more news when we come back.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Unwind every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Prop Club at the Grand Lucine Hotel. Enjoy tasty food specials on draft beers and house specialty pizzas. The Prop Club, the best place to meet friends and enjoy happy hour.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
And welcome back. Tranquility is meeting a luxury at the Resorts World Bimini Serenity Spa. As Jaquant went on an interesting tour of the spa, experiencing the epitome of relaxation with a 50-minute full-body massage. She has the details in this report.
Welcome to Serenity Spa.
at Serenity Spa, we offer a list of things such as facials, massage, body scrubs. We offer manis, pedis, body wraps, a few things.
Hi, my name is Ali. How are you?
Ali, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Welcome to Serenity Spa. Oh, before you start.
A list of people. We offer services to natives. We offer services to tourists. Anyone that wants a massage, a facial, we offer services to everyone. So here at Serenity Spa, I love the peace, the tranquil. I love that it's small, so it's only like 3 of us working here, so we're like a family, and that's what I love about it mostly. It's just relaxing.
Well, in other news, a vibrant young woman who loved her community recently passed on the island of Bimini. As a tribute to her life and legacy, her family gathered to distribute care packages to the elderly to symbolize her love for the community. The details in this report.
Today, what we're doing is actually having the spirit of Anva to live on. And that's mostly what it's about. We know Anva is gone, but it's so important to have her spirit alive. And this is truly who she was. The giving person that she was, the caring and compassionate person. This is something she partaked in with a lot of our church outreach programs and community programs. So this is just an extension of who she actually was, the aura of her being. She was somebody that actually, in the shadow, in the background, and playing the pivotal role of a big sister. I think it's so important for us to set a presence because that she emulated. Her giving, her doing, her being, but the caring person that she was is truly her. The essence of no discrimination, no caught up on what you saw on the exterior. Nothing. It didn't matter. It was all about who she was. She had her identity of just being that giving person that she was, caring person, compassionate. It's so funny that you hear so much about a person that you actually know from so many others. So you get to see it right in front of you, so many different platforms. Because I now realize when a person dies, you hear so many stories about the person you thought you knew so well. But it all really comes together saying the same thing, singing the same tune. So when I look at it, it's a very harmonious melody of the same song being sung. On all my special occasions, Valentine, Mother's Day, Father's Day, she's there with me hands-on. And I could distinctly remember, and this is the one that stood out even what you just asked. I gave her, there was a very, very large arrangement to go out. And we had a musician going along with it to blow the saxophone. And she had a poem, and articulately, verbatimly, every word I gave her to recite, it was videographed, and that she did, down to the T. Just the way I would have wanted it done, she carried it out. A caring essence, beautiful soul, giving, sharing. Anva was a free spirit also.
Live from Resorts World Bimini, a check on sports and your local weather forecast when we come back.
Good news. A&M Professional Lawn Care is branching into Freeport. For all of your lawn care services, residential and commercial, landscape design, window cleaning, painting, or truck for hire, call 445-4157. Lucaya Service Company Limited, Lusco, urges operators of vessels of all types to exercise caution and care while navigating the Grand Lucayan waterway in the area of the Casuarina Bridge. February 20th to the 29th, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays as construction repairs will be ongoing. Lusco apologizes for any inconvenience caused.
Lights, camera, action. Restoring the magic from East End to West End of Grand Bahama, we proudly present Freeport Fashion Week. Expect chic and elegant fashion displayed by incredible talent by Grand Bahama fashion giants and few upcoming designers. Come and experience Freeport's vibrant fashion scene. Get ready for a stunning runway show and stylish events that showcases our unique style, culture, and creativity when artists and designers come together to create the magic. Freeport Fashion Week beginning March 8th. Expect the unexpected.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to sports. We have a whole lot of sports for you. WNBA high school basketball and the Hugh Campbell Invitational Basketball Tournament starts today in New Providence. Let's jump right in. The 40th annual Hugh Campbell Basketball Tournament began today in New Providence. Teams competing from Grand Bahama include St. George's Jaguars, Tabernacle Falcons, BMES, Blaze Elite, Jackie with Wildcats, and the defending back-to-back champions, Sunland Stingers. Blaze Elite and Coach Evans will be the first team on the court.
Our first goal is to win one game. You can't win a championship unless you win one game. So we want to win one game and then move on from there. We actually play on Sunday. We're the first Grand Bahama team that'll be playing. We play on Sunday at 5 p.m. And, all of our fans that are in Nassau, we want to tell them to come out and support. And we expect to do pretty well. Some of the boys already have offers to go off to school for September, so we just want to build on that.
Competing from Abaco this year will be Agape Christian Academy and SC Boodle from Cooperstown. And traveling from Bimini will be Gateway Christian Academy. Switching gears now in sports, the New York Liberty re-signed Grand Bahamian Jonquel Jones on Friday after the 2021 MVP became an unrestricted free agent after last season. The Liberty reached the 2023 WNBA Finals before losing to the Las Vegas Aces 3-1 in the best-of-5 series. The 6'6" Jones averaged 11.3 points per game, 8.4 rebounds, and 1.3 block shots in 40 games last season. She stepped up her game in the postseason by averaging 17 points, while also averaging 11.6 rebounds, and also set a WNBA playoff record with 8 double-doubles. And finally in sports, scores from high school basketball yesterday in under-17s boys play. 8 Mile Rock Blue Jays defeated Sunland 27-19 in league play with an impressive comeback game in the second half. And in senior boys play, Sunland Stingers defeated Tabernacle Falcons 43-41 in the best-of-3 series to win the Grand Bahama Secondary School Association regular season championship 2-1. Edwin Ferguson was named MVP, scoring 16 points in the win. Defensive Player Award went to Jason Williams. Noah Bain was the high point man for Tabernacle, scoring 11 points in the loss. Ladies and gents, that is your quick check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
Our Bimini Facebook friend of the day after this break.
My name is Fraser Gibson, Chief Counselor for the City of Freeport. Here is 2023, year in review. Every year, the City of Freeport Council adds more programs, specific programs that cater to a variety of kids. And so what we did is we moved away from the traditional summer camps where it's more now focused. So if you want to do baking, then you attend a camp that is just for baking and cooking. And so that was one of our new camps this year. We also had more than 200 young kids at the St. George's Gymnasium hosting a basketball camp, City Football Council basketball camp, and our coach was Jay Philippe. The Learn to Swim camp has been a hit from the beginning. It continues to be a hit with more than 300 students, young people, and this year we even had Learn to Swim for adults. We had a baseball camp at the YMCA. Our coach who would have headed that would be Sonia Knowles. And we cannot say more about our special needs camp. It's really dear to our hearts that our special needs students are not left out of a regular camp, so they have their own camps. Within the city of Freeport, we have about 21 parks that we maintain for the residents in the city. And they had deteriorated somewhat, and we embarked on a mission to have each one of them refurbished. We embarked on a partnership that was led by Councillor Marco Kerry in providing all schools with baseball, softball gear, whether it was uniforms and equipment. The schools were excited, we were excited, and by extension, believe it or not, the Bahamas Games that was recently held last year also benefited because we provided the uniforms for our male and female teams. Reach Out Ministries, headed by Dudley and Katie Said, always provide free breakfast to school students on their way to school and the community at large. They're always doing something, feeding within the community. Why reinvent the wheel when we can just add to what it is that they are supplying the community with? When it comes to Carifta Childs, we're supporting Grand Bahama, who does a phenomenal job. And so we were contacted to support those that would have took part in the swimming and the track and field. And so we did our part to support the ceremony that they had for them. And hey, they did well.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Our Facebook friend of the day from Bimini is Tamika Dean, guest from attendant here at Resorts World Bimini. We say thank you for your hard work and hospitality during our stay. And that wraps up our week of news in Bimini. It has been a pleasure. That concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Join the ZNS Television Network as we rebroadcast the 50th anniversary celebrations launch event of the University of the Bahamas. And it's only on the ZNS Television Network.
Immediate response went to New York, Houston, then to Atlanta to locate, celebrate, and feature outstanding Bahamians making waves throughout the USA. Monday, February 26th, and Tuesday, February 27th, Immediate Response broadcasts live from the Bahamas Consulate in London. Join the ZNS Radio and Television Network as we interview Bahamian movers and shakers in and around Great Britain as Immediate Response continues spanning the globe, identifying standout Bahamians making marks internationally. For more information on how you can place your TV or radio commercials or be a part of the Immediate Response Global Series, call 502-3800 or email phoenixinstitute@gmail.com.
Sponsored by Fidelity Bank Bahamas Limited, the Royal Bahamas Police Force, the Ministry of Tourism, Checkers Cafe, the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources, Bahamas Retina and Eye Care Services, Bahamas Harvest Church, the Bahamas Development Bank, Battery and Tire Specialists, AFD Management, Tiki Bikini Hut, the Financial Intelligence Unit, Javon Medical Center, Cafe Channing Noel, and by Art Development.
future. The best place we could get help for our children is to bring them to church, bring them to Sunday school. Let the word of God get inculcated in their hearts.
Practical principles for successful Christian living.
You don't want to miss it.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report, citizenship DNA protocols finalized. Diverting a life of crime, inflationary prices decline, and in sports, meet Buddy, the ambassador. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akushla Pinder, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. Approved. Health and Wellness Minister, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, sharing with the media this morning that his office, along with the Attorney General's, have finalized DNA testing for the granting of automatic Bahamian citizenship. This, of course, following the London-based Privy Council's ruling that all children born in the Bahamas out of wedlock to foreign women and Bahamian men are Bahamians at birth. DNA testing would mitigate against fraud.
We've been working on it for the last year and a half. It's now completed. And for those who've been waiting patiently to access the protocols and to get on with citizenship, it's all completed by way of the passport office.
And according to Darville, here's what those protocols will look like.
Well, the protocols, we looked at an affidavit versus DNA testing, and we felt that the DNA testing was more conclusive because most DNA testing is like 99.5%. And so those individuals who are seeking citizenship, all you have to do is present to one of the labs that would be registered by the Ministry of Health. The sample will be taken. It could either be blood, it can be saliva, or it could be a buccal cell sample. That would be forwarded on to one of the reputable labs in the United States, and the results will come back, which will confirm within 99.5% the paternity testing for that particular case.
Well, in the case of an applicant with a deceased father, the protocols can be another relative. According to the minister, it was initially hoped that the protocols would have been rolled out by the end of 2023. Well, tonight we have an update on the condition of those 10 students who mysteriously fell ill Thursday and had to be rushed to hospital. We understand that those students from Achievers Academy have since been discharged. The school's principal dispelling any claims that the students' illness had to do with a visit from missionaries. Jimmy Swain picks up the story from here.
Good evening, Makushla, and good evening, Bahamas. Those 10 students who fell ill and subsequently taken to hospital Thursday may have been overexerted in physical exercise, according to Achievers Academy Principal Dr. Mateo Smith, who today dismissed the notion that it was linked to a group of missionaries' visit to the tonic William Darling campus.
All those students have since been discharged. As far as we know, parents have indicated that our students will make a full recovery and that they will be back to school on Monday morning.
Smith goes on to explain that the missionaries would have visited both of the school's campuses, the other on Carmichael Road. He explains the students headed to the Chapel on the Hill grounds following the missionaries' visit.
They were doing relays yesterday, jumping, so it was more of a lot of exertion of activities that students were doing yesterday. We also would have heard that students possibly would have ingested some controlled substance, edibles and so forth. Wanted to dispel that completely. We've never had that sort of stuff on the campus. Students who were at hospital, their urine were tested, their blood were tested, everything came back negative.
A little more than 100 students attend Achievers Academy, and Dr. Smith insists only a small percentage of students were impacted.
I sent out a next statement to parents, asking parents to collect their students at this time. Of course, we have a lot of media coverage this morning, and of course, police present and different officials. And want to be open to assist all of our officials with their questions, their concerns, and so forth. And we don't want the students who are here to be on the media, so I thought it best to cancel school today.
Dr. Smith is pretty confident no wrongdoing took place, adding that the missionaries would have visited Baptist schools earlier in the week. Further, that while parents were initially anxious following Thursday's reports, they too are convinced it was not the bead bands that made the children ill as initially thought. Meantime, a police investigation has been launched into the incident. Reporting from the newsroom, I'm Jimenita Swain. Back to you, Makushla.
Well, thanks, Jimenita. Now, the Ministry of Health and Wellness issuing a statement on the matter. In it, it notes that the findings from medical reports of what were actually 11 children who reportedly fell ill yesterday did not indicate anything remarkable. Furthermore, that all but one of the students was kept for observation. According to Health and Wellness Minister, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, all labs were reported as normal, including toxicology that showed there was no exclusive common denominator in the screenings. Also, again, that there was no evidence of a link between the symptoms experienced by the students and the bracelets or other paraphernalia worn by them. Well, meantime, a word of advice for parents. ACP Chaswell Hanna, officer in charge of training and school-based policing, is calling on parents to look after their children, and this in the face of incidences where parents have showed up at schools prepared to fight teachers. Those parents, Hannah says, were arrested.
In some cases, parents are really not helpful. I believe that if parents would become more involved in their child's education, we would have a big difference in crime. So we want the parents support the police. We're members of the community, right-minding behaviors to support the police. There's no way we could solve this crime problem if we don't attack it on the front end. Yesterday in the luncheon with the Prime Minister, there's very little you could do. The best thing we could do is start in the primary schools and divert these children from getting into a life of crime. Because if we don't, all we'll be doing is waiting on the next generation of criminals.
Similar comments coming from Chief Superintendent Crystalline Skippings, who stressed the role everyone has to play in killing the cycle of crime.
Can we pull it together? Yes, we can. We're only 21/7. The question is, though, do we really want it to happen? Right. And if we really want it to happen, are we going to be consistent in our efforts? It calls for us strategically planning and working conscientiously each day until we get it back. Are we going to use some young people now? Yes, we will. But now we have to go to the primary school. We have to go back. The Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. It calls for us now to go back to train the child properly, keeping it in line with our preamble, which guarantees us freedom by a national commitment.
Well, the two officers were among others who appeared on the ZNS primetime broadcast Assault on Crime earlier this week with host Clint Watson. In other news this evening, Acting Press Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Keishla Adderley, sidestepping questions on whether Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis's recent criticism of the media's placement of murder on the front page has not landed well internationally and made the Bahamas look even worse after the Miami Herald picked on his statement to the media.
We obviously do have a crime issue that we want to get under control, and the priority must be getting that under control. The Prime Minister has spoken to that issue. His intention was not, as he said, to direct the media. Obviously, when there is a crime, especially in a small setting, it will grab the attention of Bahamas. It'll also grab the attention internationally. But the focus must be on getting crime under control, and I think that is where the Davis administration is placing its emphasis above all else.
Well, speaking of the Prime Minister, the nation's chief yesterday toured the Nassau Village community to celebrate the construction of its new center. Devontae Hanna tells us more.
A new multi-million-dollar facility in Nassau Village is giving the area a facelift and creating a new home for the benefit of those in the community.
Nassau Village has always been associated with negative, but it is so much more.
The community center is now nearing its final stages of construction.
It would also be a capacity builder for this region of the island for increased storms. This center will be the main distribution point for the whole southern corridor as we go forward.
The multi-purpose center will house several government agencies and will act as a safe house for the vulnerable in the community, especially youth. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis taking a tour of the center just yesterday, heralding it as a deterrent to crime and a potential start to a great future for Nassau Village children.
Let me tell you what gives me hope. The communities in which most of the serious crimes take place. These same communities have produced some of our country's biggest success stories.
Yes. Urban Renewal will also sit in the complex, giving the team more access to those that need it most.
We have afternoon classes, we have the Seniors or Jewels Club, and also we have programs running, sewing classes, Creole classes, so that the community can get involved.
And as the troubling crime statistics top headlines, officers in the area say they are doing what they can to ensure the safety of all residents, which the area representative says is yielding positive results.
There's been increased patrols and just visits, walkabout activities.
This is a secure community. This is a secure constituency. The reality is that we do have instances and isolated episodes that happen in the community that tend to give a negative stigma. But look around you. These are loving persons. These are loving residents.
The community center is expected to be completed in the coming months. From the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Devontae Anna.
The government set to spend $5 million repairing homes throughout the country through its Small Homes Repairs program. Acting Press Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Keishla Adderley, provides details of the continuing initiative.
You may know that some 300 of those homes have already been assessed for repairs. Now, the lion's share of those homes are here in New Providence. There are a few of them in Grand Bahama and Abaco. Now, these repairs have to do with damage that was done during Hurricane Dorian, and some of them actually date as far back as Hurricane Matthew. But the assessment of 300 homes has been done, and that work is expected to commence shortly. There are about 700, a balance of 700, which will also be a part of this program.
Well, he's made a successful career in the local real estate industry. Just yesterday, making public, residential, and commercial developments to be constructed here in New Providence. Chairman of Brickell Management Group, Sebastian Bastian, is now suggesting the government an avenue he believes can further assist Bahamian entrepreneurs in the sector.
I think from a more can be done. I think, listen, the government's doing a really good job in making affordable houses available with the projects in the Carmichael area, and they're chopping up some lots the other day, making them, I think, 15,000, 30,000. So that helps, and I think that's a good contribution. I think what else can be also done is it might be a need for the Developers Incentive Program, something that emulates the Hotels Encouragement Act, like a Developers Encouragement Act. Once it's designed to achieve the objective of making Bahamian home ownership affordable, I think that's something that probably would be a good thing.
Bastian has 14 new blueprinted developments. 8 are already underway. Without going into detail, Bastian, who acknowledges receiving concessions from the government through a heads of agreement deal, also offered up this advice to young entrepreneurs.
They were very accommodating in making sure that we had all the necessary concessions. And I want to put on the record, I was one of those individuals that used to say that they give everything to foreigners and they don't give nothing to Bahamians. And I had to correct myself because I could only say that if I had asked and I was told no. So I hired a consultant to study the previous concessions given to the hotels in the past, and mirrored an application that mirrored that, and the government was able to accommodate that, and that incentivized us to get full steam ahead into making these investments and these developments.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
It has the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of. Now it's here. Commonwealth Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly approval. It's a service that just comes naturally to us, just like how love of tradition comes naturally to you. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Since they're on sale, Max bought things neither he nor his friend really needed. Hungry for deals? Come to KFC to satisfy your hunger before doing something crazy. Our new 6-piece value deal is packed with 6 pieces of your favorite fried chicken, 3 orders of crispy fries, and 3 buttery biscuits, all for just $20. You work hard for your money. Get the biggest bang for your taste buds. Satisfy your taste buds with KFC. It's finger-licking good.
My business couldn't survive without my credit card machine from Fidelity.
It's fast, convenient, and my clients love it.
My sales increase, and I can track my earnings.
Get your credit card machine from Fidelity today.
Call 356-7764.
Well, things are looking good in terms of the prices we're forced to pay, at least based on the latest Consumer Price Index. Stats show that this past December, prices dropped 0.5% compared to November. On a month-by-month basis, the major decreases were seen in transportation, recreation, along with food and non-alcoholic beverages that saw declines of 3.8%, 0.1%, and again 0.1% respectively. However, the clothing and footwear group went up by 0.1%. Also increasing in December, the price of diesel by 1.2%, while the price of gas dipped by 9.2%. Well, the country's tourism arm not staying quiet in the wake of 2 Level 2 international advisories about travel to the Bahamas amid an ongoing crime scourge that has garnered negative publicity and threatened the country's #1 industry.
We have meticulously crafted a marketing strategy aimed at mitigating the impact on our tourism product and our national image. Our goals are to deepen market penetration, promote a reassuring narrative, and amplify the Bahamas' brand to a wider audience. We plan to continue to saturate social media with authentic, positive stories. We've already begun an international media blitz, and I have appeared on several international travel media programs, as well as several executives of the Ministry of Tourism.
Well, just call him His Excellency. Bahamian NBA star Buddy Hield today presented with his credentials as the newly appointed Ambassador at Large for Sports and Cultural Advancement. Applauding Hield's latest accomplishment, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis says the new ambassador's life serves as a shining testament of the Bahamian spirit.
Buddy's journey from the shores of 8 Mile Rock in Grand Bahama to the bright lights of the NBA is a testament to the spirit and resilience of the Bahamian people. Growing up as the 5th of 7 children, Buddy's early life was marked by the kind of challenges that forge true champions. His story is not just one of athletic prowess, but of profound personal growth and profound dedication. In every dribble, every shot, and every game, Buddy has carried the heart of our nation, demonstrating to the world what we as Bahamians are capable of achieving. But what's truly remarkable is how he's used his platform. Returning home, leading camps, uplifting the youth. But he has shown us that success isn't just about reaching the top. It's about how many people you bring along with you.
Well, turning our attention tonight to a story of another kind, the ripple effects of a mother's decision to apparently end her life still being felt. Tonight, our Lloyd Allen shares the story of the victim's mother, who reflects on her daughter's life in the months leading up to her shocking death.
Well, Makushla, tonight we're returning back to the scene. On February 4th, Krishna Stewart, a 36-year-old mother of 3 and Atlanta security officer, plunged from the top of the Paradise Island Bridge into nearby waters, taking her own life. Recently, we spoke with her mother, Yvonne Stewart, who says while grieving continues in the family following this major loss, she is doing her best to remember her daughter, affectionately known as Butter.
Growing up, she always was a quiet person. Her friends in school still recall that, you know, all she does is just sit there. You have to ask her a question for her to answer. She'll come in very mannerly. She would say good morning, good evening, whatever, but she doesn't talk much. And even now, even till her passing, she never had nothing much to say.
Stewart says her daughter was a regular church attendee, family-oriented, and a homebody. She says even before the incident, there were issues her daughter experienced relative to mental illness as recent as June 2023.
My sister, Michelle, you know, she took her to psychiatrists. You know, they even had to send us ambulance because, you know, it was out of our control. And we tried. Pastors at Raymond Wells, they prayed and prayed, and, you know, they continue. But they told us it was just a deep depression, you know, but some of the signs you see her when she just, you know, she just fold up. She never talked.
She says 2 of her grandchildren were relocated to Abaco since June. However, 1 remained. That child also witnessing a number of attempts by his mother to take her life, something he is now receiving counseling for.
The 14-year-old who was in the home with her at the time when she went out, you know, he says, the second time, Grammy, I went, and after I see Mommy, we got Mommy back in the car, and I sit her there, and I just had to pray with Mommy, you know, and when he told me that, that's what really made me cry, because, you know, he being 14 years old, and he said, Grammy, I stayed up all that night, say, but the third time I must have fallen asleep.
As for her son-in-law, she says while God is the ultimate judge, she can only show love as a woman of faith.
I hug him. What could I say? You know, my grandfather always tell me no matter what. I wasn't living in the house straight through to know, so I cannot say anything. All I can do is pray for him, pray for the kids, and make sure from here on, the rest of our life, you know, we will be, Krishna will be missed. She will be missed because we never had to worry about anything when she was there. From my reaching Nassau, she picked me up from the airport, wherever we want to go, but, you know, she just went out.
Hoping that others can learn from her daughter's experience, she shared these signs she believes are indicative of depression.
She never talked much, like I say, but just walking up and down in the house, and then sometimes she's not eating, you know. And my sister, Michelle, you know, she was rarely there. She was rarely there because, like I told you, she spent a lot of money from psychiatrists to doctors, you know. And I tell her, I say, what else we gonna do? We called the team. They prayed and they prayed, you know. But talk to your kids and make sure, you know, you're there, you help them with their kids and make sure everything, you know, I don't have much to say, but, you know, you just have to watch your kids.
Now, Makushla, as investigations continue into this suicide, we understand that Chris is slated for March 2nd at Living Waters Kingdom Ministries right here in New Providence. Reporting from the Paradise Island Bridge. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen. Makushla.
Well, thanks, Lloyd. Meantime, funeral preparations underway for 2-time breast cancer warrior, advocate, and former president of the Sister Breast Cancer Support Group, Andrea Sweeting, who died nearly a week ago. Ahead of that service, her granddaughters, an adopted daughter, speaks with our LaDawn Davis about her legacy and impact.
We may know Andrea Sweeting as a fierce advocate for breast cancer awareness in this country, but to Courtney Spears and to Ray Sweeting, she's Grammy.
She was a very loving, heartwarming person. As a child, you know, she would pick me up from school, take me wherever I needed to go. She was always just a call away.
She was the most beautiful example of a woman for all of us, for me, my other cousins, for my aunts and uncles and our siblings. She was truly grace personified and the strongest woman I've ever seen.
Both granddaughters agreed that her passing 3 days after her 75th birthday on February 10th was a hard pill for the family to swallow. However, they find comfort in knowing that she's now at peace.
I think that they are doing the best that they can. Of course, they miss their mom. She's 3 amazing sons, an amazing daughter, lots of grandchildren. But I think in the pain, they get to remember how much strength she gave them. The prayers and the love and the calls and the cards and the flowers that have come our family's way have truly helped heal us and give us so much to hold on to in this time.
We got the opportunity to see her numerous times. God gave us that opportunity to just love on her some more. I think everybody is kind of heartbroken, but we smile to know that she's in a better place.
This Bahamian gem battled breast cancer twice, COVID-19, a stroke several years ago, and even heart failure. But it didn't stop her from sharing her stories and lending a helping hand to those still in the fight. Her adopted daughter and breast cancer survivor, Chantel Cox, knows about this all too well and says the country has lost one of its finest treasures.
She always was encouraging, and one of the last things she said to me, she said, "I'm so proud of you." And she always said that no matter what little accomplishment, because I would always ask her, "What are you proud of? What did I do?" And she would always say, "I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of how you're holding yourself. I'm so proud of the job that you're doing." And I'd be like, what am I doing? And she was like, "I'm just proud of you." And that goes a long way when you're in the world and you're working and you're doing all of these things.
Sweeting's memorial service will take place on Thursday, February 29th at 6 p.m., and her funeral service will follow at St. Agnes Anglican Church on March 2nd at 11:30 a.m. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm LaDawn Davis.
We still have more news to come, but Marcellus Hall has a look at what's coming up in sports. Marcellus?
Coming up in sports for tonight, Buddy Hield, the latest ambassador at large. Details just ahead in sports.
In the Yellow Elder Garden, Ali and her cousins listened to Grammy share tales. The 70s so sweet, with themed costumes and dancing feet. Then came the brass, reaching new heights. A symphony of Bahamian nights. The 2000s, the Yellow Elder, a symbol of pride. Grammy's legacy in view as Ali dances in her Yellow Elder costume. We are alive.
Simplified Lending, we know that your time is precious. So we've unscrambled the loan process, making it fast and hassle-free. You can have your answer in as little as 24 hours. When you qualify, we simplify. We are the best borrowing solution for tuition, home renovation, vacation loans, emergency medical expenses, purchasing a vehicle, and for business expansion loans. Simplified Lending for simplified living. Call us today or find us in the R&D Plaza on JFK Drive.
Know it in here somewhere. Aha! I said, catch me last time, they catch me this time.
Spencer, what you running on with? And I send you to the shop long time for the lad for me to put in the spot.
Yeah, man. So don't be all up in my grits. But I asked you to cook me this morning. You ain't cooking
Well, Vingston, this year say, junior sailors, and you ready for the grave.
You good?
Where?
To the repast for your wave made rest in peace. Listen, it just say 200 young sailors could be out to this thing. And they say it could be fun, it could be prizes and surprises. And guess what?
What?
Surprise you, I'm going.
You won't carry me, but...
Don't touch me, nephew! Nephew!
What?
Let's show them what we can do.
That's them, Reggie. Show them what we used to.
Just for the young people, man. Anyway, while they're in the stage shaking up herself, I can see y'all on the 22nd through 24th right over Montague.
How could you forget?
What?
When it's on the junior jungle on the school pop band could be there.
Oh, well, I can't miss this.
Vingston!
I hope you called me for my grits.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works.
Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
What do we do about crime? Well, ZNS believes the answer lies within the leaders of the community gathering in prayer as the recent spate of crime has called for more than the police to take action. And our very own 107.9 FM became the driving force for the nation. Charlia Jones tells us more.
You don't want to wait until crime comes to your doorstep before you start to do something.
Following the government and Royal Bahamas Police Force plea for the public to assist in the fight against crime, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas has taken an active role in the crime fight. Starting Tuesday with a 1-hour primetime special, Assault on Crime, and today 107.9 FM Prayer Caravan, dubbed the Caravan of Love. Senior Production Director Melissa Knowles on the initiative.
What we sought to do was move to these different communities, especially the ones that are hardest hit by crime, and we get into the neighborhoods, to the parks, and the pastors who have churches in these various neighborhoods, we wanted them to meet with us on the park, have some of the neighbors come onto the park, pray with us as we pray for you. We want to inspire you, share a word with you.
Assistant Superintendent Mikkel Pinner says she is pleased that ZNS answered the call to partner in battling this war.
It's going to take a village for us to get a grip of the spike in crime that we see here. And so if everybody comes on board and play their role in terms of trying to minimize what we see happening, we will see positive results. So I endorse this as a police officer. I endorse this 100%.
Reverend Diana Francis also sent this message to youth.
To the young men who are involved in crime, I want to encourage you guys, man, to choose positive paths. You don't want to live in a life of fear. You don't want to live a life looking over your shoulder, man. You know, you can be at peace, and God brings that. And there are people in the church who want to embrace you and help you in a positive path.
We also talked to students of R.M. Lee who applauded this initiative, stating that it can help in turning lives around.
In the type of community they go in, there's a lot of youths around you, and it's a lot of youths that feel scared to be public about their walk with God. So I feel as though through them doing this and getting the youth them to come in and feel welcome to worship God, I feel as though when they get among their peers, they can be more public and start more firm with their faith in God, and they wouldn't be scared no more.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Charlia Jones.
Well, thanks, Charlia. Meantime, to hear the concerns and suggestions to fight the scourge of crime, the Department of Education will next month host a youth crime rally. Acting Director of Education Dominique McCartney-Russell says young people reason that while a number of school programs are working, there's still a need for additional community-based initiatives.
What about programs that are actually right in the community on a weekend after school, and they could use those opportunities to be engaged and be mentored so that they're not in the streets? Another young man said to me, he said, Ms. Russell, you know, I have a part-time job with my uncle on a boat. And if, you know, this crime continues, I may lose my job, and that job assists him with his lunch. You see, so they have a vested interest.
While the police wage an all-out war against crime, the Brotherhood, a group of community-based men, is suiting up to wage a war of a different kind. Plans are afoot for a men's mobilization march on April 28th, an initiative aimed at combating the scourge of crime and fostering a culture of peace and responsibility.
The kind of battle that I'm talking about is a battle against the forces of violence. It's a battle against despair that we see on the faces of our people that really threaten to destabilize our society. This mobilization does not call for arms as we know it, but rather call for our hearts and our hands.
When the idea came, it's like we have to do something. We have to marshal our men. We have to call our men together. And for me, after there are several violent crimes that took place, the one on Prince Charles, the one on Village Road, and then a couple others. And I said, no, this is not the town that I grew up in. This is not the one that I know. And this is not the one I will become to know.
The movement drawing men from all sectors and political divides.
This is also anchored by what we believe to be our two inescapable truths. One being that for us to begin to address this issue of crime in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas that has plagued us for so long, quite frankly, that it will take the Bahamian people, all of us, to do it.
We have come to the understanding that there is an all-out assault against the men of our nation. And biblically, we know that the men have been called to be leaders. The men have been called to be protectors. The men have called to be providers.
Sometimes in a position of becoming hopeless and saying, what can my voice do, or what can I do as an individual? It's only me. But here's this movement who's saying, come together, bring your person, bring yourself, bring your family member, bring your brother, your nephew, bring your son, and let's stand together.
On a lighter note, hundreds of primary schoolers got up close and personal with potential jobs the youngsters may wish to pursue in the future. It's all part of the Careers Day activities at Cleveland Enos Primary School. Corvell Pyfrom was there.
Elijah Romel Ricardo Sands, and yes, he gave us all his names. Sixth grade at Sadie Curtis Primary School. Just one of many students we met at this Careers Day fair.
It's very good. I think that it's given opportunities for different children to know what they want to do when they grow older.
Elijah and his classmates all joined students from Cleveland Enos Primary, where the fair was held. The theme was Constructing Your Future, and it featured informational booths with representatives from dentistry, nursing, insurance, and more. There's no shortage of information or resources available at this year's Careers Day Fair at the Cleveland Enos Primary School. But once again, and it comes as no surprise, the main attraction here is our four-legged canine friends. I guess I don't need to ask you this, but your presence, well, those guys' presence here is such a big draw for the kids.
Yeah, man, the children love it. They love to see the dogs bite. They love to see them be swung around on the bite suit. They enjoy it so much.
Many of the students were dressed in costumes showcasing the jobs they'd like to one day do. Kaylin, tell us, what is it that you want to be when you grow up?
A police officer.
Why?
Because I like to help people.
Fire services also proved to be a hit with the students as well.
So our main job as a police officer and a firefighter, we help to save lives. So when we get that opportunity, we always encourage the little ones and the children that in choosing a career, you want to choose a career that you're going to enjoy doing.
And it's a pretty safe bet that this year's fair was just a hit all around.
Career Day, it's very fun and educational. The kids are just loving it. It's a great enjoyment. It's very fun. I'm just loving it.
Immaculate. There's a bunch of booths. There's nurses, firefighters. As you can see the fire truck back there. Children are just loving it. Everybody's so amazing. Everybody's having a great time.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pyfrom. In case you missed the news or want to stay ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on X, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook.
You've set big goals for your future, and we can help you to achieve them. Getting that degree you've always wanted, buying your first car, making it official on a truly special day, or building a home that's your own. Big or small, share your ambitions with us, and we can help make them real.
roadworks taking shape over in the Berry Islands. Our news team speaking with Member of Parliament for the area, Leonardo Lightbourne, who assured Great Harbour Key residents that the process, despite its hiccups, is being streamlined.
I spoke to the contractor. We're looking at about possibly 2 to 3 more months in terms of completion, providing that the weather permits. However, the weather has slowed down the paving process tremendously. Logistics problems has somewhat kind of kept back the process and completion, but I've spoke to the contractor and now we are on the go. We are moving, and hopefully in a few months we'll have the entire Great Harbour Key main roads, infrastructures and things in place.
Well, now time for Family Island weather, and for that we turn to Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makisha. The warming trend has begun and will continue through the weekend, but there's a frost system on the way. We'll talk about that later on in the newscast. But outside of our studios, you can see the clouds already start to increase, partly cloudy skies with a temperature of 74 degrees. The relative humidity is 71%. We have southeast winds at 8 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,016.7 millibars. That is 30.02 inches. And your temperatures around the Family Islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 71 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Green Tool Key and Abaco, Marsh, Abaco at 73. The Berry Islands, 74. Alisson, Bimini, 75. Harper Island have a temperature of 74. Rock Sandy Lutris, 72. In Fresh Creek, Central Andros, 75 degrees. Camp Space at Andros and Black Point Exuma at 76. Otterstown, Cat Island, 73. And that extends into San Salvador and Rumkey, Georgetown Exuma at 75. 75s again in Rygat Island, Clarence Sound, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, and Acklands. Matthew Tiny Nagua, 77. And the Turks and Caicos Islands also reporting 77 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. For all areas tonight, southeast to south wind speeds around 10 to 15 knots. Those wave heights not too bad at 2 to 4 feet. High tide takes place at 1:49 in the morning. And then tomorrow in the northwestern parts of the country, the wind becomes southerly at 10 to 15 knots. The wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Now, the low tide will take place at 8:21 in the morning with a high tide at 2:05 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern Isles on Saturday, southeast winds 10 to 15, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And on Sunday, we will see those winds become south to southwest ahead of that advancing cold front. The speed still at 10 to 15 knots, the wave heights holding at 2 to 4 feet. Now, the low tide on Sunday, that will occur at 9:30 in the morning. You can expect your high tide at 3:13 in the afternoon. In the central and southeastern islands, winds out of the south at 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
I don't want no dirty stone to stuck between my teeth. I'm feeling Sammy's, guess I didn't play that out. All I want is that sweet juicy crab in my mouth. I want me some crab sauce. I can buy the crab house. I want me some crab sauce. I can buy the crab house. I want me some crab sauce. I can buy the crab house. All I want is that sweet juicy crab in my mouth.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Let me tell you why.
Want to have your voice heard? Send your letters to the editor to digitalmedia@znsbahamas.com. Share your thoughts on current events or positive stories within your community. That's digitalmedia@znsbahamas.com. We want to hear from you.
February is the month of love, and you will love the specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Rainbow corned beef, 12 ounce, $2.29. Mullis ready cut macaroni, 16 ounce, $2.19. English cheddar cheese, $3.99 per pound. Vitamalt Classic, 10 to 12 ounce, $1.19. Chicken leg quarters, 10-pound bag, 89 cents per pound. If you love to save, you will love Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Health is the greatest gift. That's
That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 95th Terrace, Centerville, and now located in the Lucaya Shopping Center of Freeport, Grand Bahama.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to your ZNS Total Sports Check, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. The NBA All-Star break affording Bahamian NBA player Buddy Hield the opportunity to return to home soil. Hield, now a member of the Philadelphia 76ers, in town to mark being named Ambassador at Large for the Bahamas. Hield being sworn in and signing the Declaration of Allegiance at the office of the Prime Minister, after which the new ambassador spoke about his new appointment.
I want to thank God for this opportunity, for blessing me. To Honorable Philip Davis, Minister of Foreign Affairs, my family, and the Bahamian people, thank you. I'm just grateful for the opportunity, not for me just being as a Bahamian, but also for me, for my journey from NBA, but also when I'm at my peak now, I want to take advantage of all opportunities into being a businessman and taking care of the youth of the Bahamas, because they are the future.
Now, Hield also taking a moment to address his recent trade to the Philadelphia 76ers and the potential to make the NBA playoffs for the first time in his NBA career.
It's very exciting. You know, haven't made the playoffs yet, and you know, every day I'm working hard each and every day to protect my craft, my new teammates, get to know my teammates. And we don't have the big fellas yet. He's hurt, but hopefully we can make a push and be able to sustain in the fifth or even get higher. I feel that the guys that come back after the All-Star break, I feel like we can be able to get it even higher. But because, you know, stay together, learn each other, and then hopefully we figure it out.
Shifting to track and field, where we caught up with new world record holder in the 60-meter hurdles, Devin Charlton, yesterday afternoon. Speaking via Zoom, Charlton talked about the moment she started to believe she could compete at the highest level.
When I saw what Pedria ended up doing in the Rio Games, and I knew that, you know, that showed me that the Bahamas, we can produce world-class athletes. And so she was really the one that showed me that I wasn't working hard enough, that I needed to go back and I needed to pretty much revamp everything that I was doing, because, you know, coming from a small nation, like, that's not an excuse. Like, we're still, like, small but mighty in that I had the capabilities to be on that start line with her and all those other elite ladies.
Charlton says the plan is now to keep doing what she's been doing in order to stay at her best.
Honestly, I don't do anything differently. What I've been doing is working, and so I think we stick to the plan. We keep that going, just build some consistency with it, and then going forward is about staying healthy, because I think that's the most important part. Like, I'm already running well, and I already know that I'm the best in the world, but I have to stay healthy. I have to stay in this shape.
Now, Devin adding that she has no plans toward retirement, especially at this stage.
You know, I want to go as long as I can, sustainably and healthily, like, just physically and mentally. And so I'm enjoying the time that I'm having right now. I'm doing my dream job. And so the goal is to do it for as long as I possibly can, while keeping in mind, like, my longevity and, like, quality of life. So, but I'm having a good time so far. I don't have any plans of quitting too soon.
And the Hugh Campbell basketball tournament getting started today. Our Charles Fisher was there for the beginning of this much anticipated event.
It was a cultural start to the opening of the 40th Hugh Campbell basketball tournament this morning at the AF Arley Gym. Huge cheers as the players and coaches from New Providence-based schools were introduced. Now Family Island and Grand Bahama teams will be in on Monday. Government High Pop Band made sure the music was right. Then it was time for the Stingrays of C.B. Bethel cheerleading squad. Officially opening the tournament was Acting Director of Education, Science and Technology, Dominic McCartney Russell.
This tournament provides a stage for them to shine. I cannot put a ball in a basket, I think even for $1 million. But these young men are able to do it. And this serves as a pathway for them to pursue other aspirations, whether on the court or in the classroom. But perhaps most importantly, the Hugh Campbell basketball tournament inspires and it uplifts our entire nation because we come together to cheer on our favorite teams and celebrate their diversity, their resilience, and of course, their unity as a team.
Bringing down the house to close out the festivities was the Junior Jump Canoe Champs, C.B. Bethel Stingrays. Enjoy.
Thanks, Fisher. Still with hoops, another of our high-profile international athletes, Jonquel Jones, has re-signed with the New York Liberty. The Grand Bahama native making the deal today that returns her to be a key part of the Liberty lineup as they hope to capture the title this season after coming up short in last year's finals against the Las Vegas Aces. And that's it. Your check on sports for you here on this Friday. We do have that Friday weather report just around the corner. Stay with us.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
For hurricane season, we got impact windows and doors. For protection, just come to our store. Plus, we got tiles to pretty up your walls and your floors. We'll help you brighten up for that big bad storm. Porcelain tiles, blank tiles, mosaic tiles, a variety of styles. Before teens get right, they gotta be rough. That's why we got the best deals in the whole Bahamas. Hey, hey.
We are here in Pompey Square. We are thankful that your eyes are still on this nation.
The best place we could get help for our children is to bring them to church, bring them to Sunday school. Let the word of God get inculcated in their hearts.
Practical principles for successful Christian living.
You don't want to miss it.
Join the ZNS Television Network as we rebroadcast the 50th anniversary celebrations launch event of the University of the Bahamas. And it's only on the ZNS Television Network.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, that jet stream is expected to dip southward, and that will usher in a frontal system which will get into the northwest Bahamas late on Sunday, but it's going to be a bit slow moving, hanging around through Monday. So we'll see an increase in shower activity as of Sunday, and that will continue right through on Monday as well. Satellite picture showing that high pressure has collapsed, meaning those winds will be reducing over the weekend. So we'll be around 10 to 15 knots with wave heights about 2 to 4 feet. Some clouds starting to advance into the northwest Bahamas ahead of that frontal system. So that will trigger 1 or 2 passing showers in the extreme northwestern Bahamas. Tonight, partly cloudy, a bit warmer than it has been over the past few days. 71 degrees for your low temperature. And tomorrow we're looking at it pleasant with intervals of clouds and sunshine. High temperature around 81 degrees. And your extended weather forecast looking like this. The beautiful weather will continue to Saturday, but that will be short-lived. Come Sunday, Late in the afternoon, we'll see the clouds increase in showers, starting to develop in the nighttime hours, and that will continue right through Monday, some of which could be heavy at times. Temperature-wise, it's going to warm up to about 83 degrees for a high on Sunday, and then things will drop back into the 70s during the daytime as we head into the early part of next week. And those nighttime temperatures, they will leave the 70s, and we'll see some nice, comfortable temperatures in the 60s for the next 5 to 6 days. Makishla.
Well, thanks, Basil. And we now go to our Corvell Pie Firm for this week's Student of the Week.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Teshama. Happy birthday to you.
This sure was a special birthday for Shamar Taylor, who turned 7, and on the very same day was honored for earning the highest GPA of all the students at Centerville Primary School, a nearly perfect 3.95. Shamar, a second grader, is described as being shy. He's one who doesn't say a whole lot, so we were just happy he shared with us how he felt about his impressive academic performance.
I feel great. I am extremely proud. Shema has been working so hard. When we come home, we would get the homework done. We would put in the extra work. He has awesome teachers and support staff here at the school. They continue to make sure they send homework every other day, and they reinforce like crazy.
Once he started working, he doesn't stop. He wants to go over. If he gets one thing wrong in school, he's very sad. He doesn't stop until he gets it right.
Shamar gets a lot of support from his parents and grandparents.
Oh, I'm feeling proud because I dropped them to school and I picked them up and I be with them until time to get them home. And I'm proud of my grandchildren. I love all. But Shema did an excellent job today, and I thank God for that.
Principal Katharina Williams is pretty proud of her second grader and our Student of the Week as well.
No matter what's happening around Shamar, he is so focused on what he has to do. It's amazing.
Well, we couldn't close this piece out without asking Shamar one more thing.
So what do you want for your birthday? Because with a 3.95 now, you're able to demand what you want, huh? What do you want for your birthday?
A big trophy.
What is it?
You want a big trophy?
A big trophy? Said he wants a big trophy. That's coming at the end of the school year, Shamar. We're sure that that's coming.
Sounds like that birthday wish is on its way. In the meantime, happy birthday, Shamar, and congratulations on being the ZNS Centerville Primary Student of the Week. I'm Corvell Pyfrom for the Bahamas Tonight.
Well, from all of us, happy birthday, Shamar. And he may have left 7 years old a few years back, but birthday greetings also go out to our cameraman, Shane Gibson. Happy birthday, Shane, from all of us here. And that does it for the Bahamas Tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
Did I eat up all the food? Did I drink down all the rum sweet? We can scrape it dance all night long to the sounds of the ancient man. Now you done blow your candle, you done look on all your gifts. We done sing a happy birthday, and yet done made a birthday wish. While my mind asking a question, Lord, I wonder who it will be. You give your voice piece of birthday cake too.
You're watching the